When you hear a show tune from the great white way, does a shiver run through ya? Well, we're giving them to ya. Sing hallelujah and shout hooray. Come on along and listen to Broadway to Main Street. USA.
When I was given my first command, I led my men into a massacre, witnessed their deaths firsthand. Oh, I made every mistake. I felt the shame rise in me. And even now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me. History. History has its eyes on me. History. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. Don't nobody have control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story. I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eyes on you. History.
Well, history has its eyes on you, dear listener, especially if you love Broadway history. Hello, this is Larry Maslon, your host for Broadway to Main Street, here on 88.3 WLIW FM, Long Island's only signature, one-of-a-kind, Broadway and Beyond NPR station. That was the voice of John Legend singing the great score by Lin-Manuel Miranda for Hamilton in a cover album. So that's historical in and of itself. They hadn't done too many cover albums of Broadway shows really for decades until the Hamilton mixtape came up. Well, history and Broadway is very much on my mind these days because for the months of May and June, the WNET Group, which is essentially PBS, WLIW, and WNET are combining for 8 weeks of special Broadway programming. If you love Broadway, and of course you do, or you wouldn't be listening to this show, it's just an incredible lineup on air and online, including on YouTube. Great performances, Broadway's best, all arts, American masters, and of course us, Broadway to Main Street, so that you'll want to make sure you check out on WLIW.org/Broadway. So I'm going to tee you up. Today's episode is really about the groundbreakers and the historical shows on Broadway, so that you'll know everything important about Broadway, that you can dive right into this important programming by our hosts, the WNET Group. Well, in terms of the narrative musical, of course, the great groundbreaker Showboat 1927. And why? Well, it wasn't just a collection of songs. It was songs that were related to character and story. And in the case of this song, this little bit of information comes out to the audience through the song that tells you something that even the character isn't going to tell you. And I'm talking, of course, about Can't Help Loving That Man of Mine, score from Showboat, of course, Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein II. Here is a recording, a studio recording with Teresa Stratas. And it's interesting, the character of Julie, who appears in the Showboat, has a secret racial past. She has what they called back then mixed blood. She's partly black, but of course can't tell anyone. A wonderful recording of a very important show.
But colored folks sing that song. Sounds funny for Miss Julie to know it.
Why, Julie sings it all the time.
Can you sing the whole thing?
Of course I can. What's so funny about that?
Oh, listen, sister, I love my Mr. Man, and I can't tell you why. There ain't no reason why I should love that man. It must be something that the angels done plan. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly. I gotta love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Tell me he's lazy, tell me he's slow, tell me I'm crazy, maybe I know. Can't help loving that man of mine. When he goes away, that's a rainy day, and when he comes back, that day is fine as sunshine. He can come home as late as can be. Home without him ain't nothing to me. Can't help loving that man of mine.
Ooh, that's beautiful, Miss Julie.
Was that you, Miss Julie? That's my favorite song.
My man is shiftless and good for nothing, too. He's my man just the same. He never around here when there is work to do.
He never around here when there's working to do.
The chimney smoking, the roof is leaking in, but he don't seem to care. He can be happy with just a sip of gin.
Why, you won't talking about Jim.
I even loves him when his kisses got gin. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Come on.
All right.
Do it like this.
Take it up now.
Come on. All
Well, among Broadway history things, people would say, well, gee, what was the first Broadway cast album? And many people would raise their hand and say Oklahoma in 1943, but they would be wrong. The first important cast album that had the score in order sung by the people who were in the show was The Cradle Will Rock by Mark Blitzstein in 1938. And it was on a series of very heavy 78 recordings, 7 of them, in fact. But here is Mark Blitzstein himself and Olive Stanton to kick off the beginning of the first original cast album, The Cradle Will Rock.
Scene 1 is a street corner. It is the night of a big union drive. The mall stands at the lamppost. There is a phone attached to it.
I'm getting home now, call it a night, going up to my room, turn off the light, Jesus, turn off that light. I ain't in Steeltown long. I work 2 days a week. The other 5 my effort ain't required. For 2 days out of 7, $2 bills I'm given. So I'm just searching along the street, for on those 5 days it's nice to eat. Jesus, who said let's eat?
Well, the American musical went on its diverting and enlightening way through the 1930s until in 1940, Richard Rodgers said, we created the first show to deal with the facts of life. In other words, sexual relations between consenting adults. And that, of course, was Pal Joey by Rodgers and Lorenz Hart. And it was the first elegant, mature musical. It still holds up incredibly well. And here is the scene between a young man, a nightclub singer, Joey, and the older woman he has seduced, and the apartment they have set aside for their amorous adventures. This is Harold Lang and Vivian Siegel from a 1952 recording, but it still holds up pretty darn well.
Just 2 little lovebirds all alone in a little cozy nest with a little secret telephone. That's the place to rest.
Artificial roses round the door, they are never out of bloom.
And a flowered carpet on the floor in the loving room.
In our little den of iniquity, our arrangement is good.
It's much more healthy living here. This rushing back home is bad, my dear.
I haven't caught a cold all year.
Knock on wood.
It was ever thus since antiquity, all the poets agree.
The chambermaid is very kind. She always thinks we're so refined.
Of course she's deaf and dumb and blind. No fools we in our little den of iniquity. In our little den for a girlie and boy.
We'll sit and let the hours pass. A canopy bed has so much class.
And so's a ceiling made of glass. Oh, what joy! Love has been that way since antiquity, down to you and to me.
The radio I used to hate. Now when it is dark and late, Tchaikovsky's 1812 sounds great. That's for me in our little den of iniquity.
Antiquity, down to you and to me. We're very proper folks, you know.
We've separate bedrooms, comme il faut. There's one for play and one for show.
You chase me in our little den of iniquity.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads when they see me ride by. But a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Well, that, of course, was the opening number from the great, great groundbreaker, Oklahoma, 1943, Rodgers and Hammerstein. We heard them separately, now together, and that's the glorious voice, of course, of Alfred Drake. And a good moment to say hi to our friend out there, Candy Wainwright. Hope you're listening, Candy. And that show, of course, just paced everything for such a long period of time. Everybody wanted to do a narrative musical. But it wasn't until 1956 they felt they could do a literate one, and that, of course, was My Fair Lady. And here's the song in the first act that was so transformational that the audience supposedly went berserk, and it wasn't a hit parade song. It was just totally impacted by character and situation. So from the original cast, we have, of course, Rex Harrison, Julie Andrews, and Robert Coote with a late night experiment into the English language.
Quit, Professor Higgins. Quit, Professor Higgins. Here are plea or payday. We will quit, Professor Higgins. A, not I, O, not ow. Pounding, pounding in our brain. A, not I, O, not ow. Don't say right, say rain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
By George, she's got it. By George, she's got it. Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain, on the plain.
And where's that soggy plain?
In Spain, in Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire,
hurricanes hardly happen. How kind of you to let me come.
Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain, on the plain.
And where's that blasted plain?
In Spain, in Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Hello, darling, this is Louis, darling. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You looking swell, darling, I can tell, darling. You still growing, you still growing, you still going strong. I feel the room sway while the band's playing one of our old favorite songs from way back when. So take a rap, fellas, find an empty lap, fellas, darling, never go away again. I feel the broom sway, but the band's playing one of our old favorite songs from way back when. So, darling G, fellas, have a little faith in me, fellas. Darling, never go away. Promise you never go away. Darling, never go away again.
Well, that's our good friend Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong did briefly a show in the 1930, but that was a hit parade, a Billboard recording, a popular cover of Hello Dolly by Jerry Herman. Big show in 1964. And he knocked the Beatles off the charts. That was the last time that a Broadway song held the charts for quite so long. A great achievement in popular recording and an awful lot of fun. Those of you who listen to Broadway to Main Street regularly know that I'm a big fan of Sammy Davis and the civil rights musical he did also in 1964 called Golden Boy. This was a big game changer. It was the first time there was an interracial, passionate relationship front and center in an American musical. And Sammy's voice was so fried that he did the recording you're going to hear. And then he was so unhappy with it, he went back and re-recorded it 6 months later. But I think it's terrific. Here is Sammy Davis and Paula Wayne from Golden Boy.
Lorna and Joe, somehow it sounds so right. Somehow you feel what I feel too. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. After all the nights of wanting you, lying there loving you, hating you, tonight I'm touching you, tasting you, world, you're gonna see. We'll make out somehow. Here's my girl and me. They can't hurt us now. Here's our chance, it's not too late for us. Grab it fast or life won't wait for us. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. It's a sweet and golden day for us. Now the music starts to play for us.
This is Larry Maslon, your host for Broadway to Main Street, and this week's Broadway to Main Street is the tee-off, the kickoff to PBS's Broadway and Beyond, a special collection of programming all over the map there on YouTube, online, great performances, American Masters, all arts, you name it, where we're going to celebrate Broadway. So stick around, come back every week, every Sunday at 3, and we will update you about these exciting things. Well, for the first half of the 20th century in a Broadway musical, if somebody was singing about somebody they loved, they said what they meant, and they meant what they said. But it was our good friend Stephen Sondheim who brought the rueful note, hard to say when you've got fangs, rueful note of ambiguity and ambivalence into the American musical. And he did so in Company, 1970, one of the great, great, great game changers. Here is my favorite song from that show. It still holds up all these years later.
Harry, you ever sorry you got married?
You're always sorry. You're always grateful. You're always wondering what might have been. Then she walks in, and still you're sorry, and still you're grateful, and still you wonder, and still you doubt. And she goes out. Everything's different, nothing's changed, only maybe slightly rearranged. You're sorry, grateful, regretful, happy. Why look for answers when none occur? You always are what you always were, which has nothing to do with, all to do with her.
You're always sorry, you're always grateful. You hold her thinking, I'm not alone. You're still alone. You don't live for her, you do live with her. You're scared she's starting to drift away, and scared she'll stay.
Good things get better, bad get worse. Wait, I think I meant that in reverse. You're sorry, grateful, regretful, happy. Why look for answers when none occur? You'll always be what you always were, which has nothing to do with, all to do with her. You'll always be what you always were, which has nothing to do with, all to do with her. Nothing to do with, all to do with her. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So come take a look give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise. I don't want pity. I bang my own drum. Some think it's noise. I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each feather and each spangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one life and there's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I
Well, that was George Hearn from Jerry Herman's great score to La Cage aux Folles, a major game changer. I mean, the queer community was so important in creating Broadway really from the ground up, but was utterly unrepresented on stage until 1983's La Cage aux Folles, a very brave and intelligent and amusing musical. So we celebrate that as well. Soon after that, we had what was called the British Invasion, all the heavy-duty musicals that came in the 1980s, Phantom of the Opera, Cats, Miss Saigon, and my favorite, Les Miserables, which came from France originally via England to New York. Here is Randy Graff delivering a tremendous performance from the Broadway version of Les Miserables.
There was a time when men were kind, when their voices were soft and their words inviting. There was a time when love was blind and the world was a song and the song was exciting. There was a time when it all went wrong. I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid.
as thunder, as they tear your hope apart, as they turn your dream to shame. He slept a summer by my side. He filled my days with endless wonder. He took my childhood in his stride, but he was gone when autumn came. And still I dream he'll come to me, that we will live the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what it seemed. Now life has killed the dream I
Don't you see, Bloom? Darling Bloom, glorious Bloom. It's so simple. Step 1, we find the worst play ever written. Step 2, we hire the worst director in town. Step 3, I raise $2 million.
2?
Yes, one for me, one for you. There's a lot of little old ladies out there. Step 4, we hire the worst actors in New York and open up Broadway. And before you can say step 5, we close on Broadway. Take our $2 million and go to Rio.
Rio? Nah, that'd never work.
Oh, ye of little faith. What did Lewis say to Clark when everything looked bleak? What did Sir Edmund say to Tenzing as they struggled toward Everest Peak? What did Washington say to his troops as they crossed the Delaware? I'm sure you're well aware.
What'd they say?
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Me and you. We can do it. We can do it. We can make our dreams come true. Everything you've ever wanted is just waiting to be had. Beautiful girls wearing nothing but pearls, caressing you, undressing you, and driving you mad. We can do it. We can do it. This is not the time to shirk. We can do it. You won't rue it. Say goodbye to petty clerk. Hi, producer. Yes, producer. I mean you, sir. Go berserk. We can do it. We can do it. And I know it's gonna work. What do you say, Bloom?
What do I say? Finally a chance to be a Broadway producer. What do I say? Finally a chance to make my dreams come true, sir. What do I say? What do I say? Here's what I say to you, sir. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. That's not me. I'm a loser. I'm a coward. I'm a chicken. Don't you see? When it comes to wooing women, there's a few things that I lack. Beautiful girls wearing nothing but pearls, chasing me, embracing me, I'd have an attack.
Why, you miserable, cowardly, wretched little caterpillar. Don't you ever want to become a butterfly? Don't you want to spread your wings and flap your way to glory? We can do it.
Mr. Viola,
We can
stop
do
the
it.
song. You've got me
We
wrong.
can
I'll stay so
grab
long.
that
I'm not as strong a
holy
person as you think.
grail. We can do it.
Mr. Viola,
We
stop,
can
just take
do
a
it.
look. I'm not
Drink
a crook. I'm just a
champagne,
schnook. The
not
bottom line is
ginger
that I
ale.
stink.
Come on, Leo.
I can't
Can't you see, oh?
do it. You see Rio, I see J.
We can do it. I can do it. We can do it. I
do it 'cause I know it's gonna fail.
We can do it. I know we cannot fail.
Well, those are our good friends, Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick. They're quite jovial, but why would we make them groundbreakers and game changers? Well, in The Producers, thanks to Mel Brooks, we had a return to musical comedy in 2000, which doesn't seem to have let up. They're all over the place, thankfully restoring a few laughs to Broadway. Another aspect that we inherited in the 21st century was the jukebox musical. They announced the Tonys this week, the Tony nominations, and boy, there are a bunch of them too. Here is my favorite, or I certainly think the most artistically successful of them, Jersey Boys, the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Pretty baby, who's gonna love you, mama? Who loves you, pretty baby? When tears are in your eyes and you can't find the way, it's hard to make believe you're happy when you're brave. Baby, when you're feeling like you'll never see the morning light, come to me, baby, you'll see.
Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna help you through the night? Who loves you, pretty mama? Who's always there to make it? Who loves you?
Who's gonna love you, love you? Who's gonna love you? Who's gonna love you, love you? Who's gonna love you? Come to me, baby, you'll see.
Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna help you through the night? Who loves you, pretty mama? Who's always there to make it? Who loves you?
Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna love you, mama? Who loves you, pretty baby?
Who loves you? Well, your host, Larry Maslon, loves you because he's teaming up with the WNET Group for Broadway and Beyond. 8 weeks of programming on your local PBS station, all devoted to Broadway. Let us close out with another tribute, certainly to Broadway and by extension, New York City. Empire State of Mind by Alicia Keys. Her musical based on her biography and her work, Hell's Kitchen, has just tapped into 13 Tony nominations. I think it's a terrific show. So let us close out. We don't have the cast album yet, but let us close out with the enthusiastic anthem of Broadway and Beyond, Empire State of Mind.
Famous as a place of movie scenes. Noise is always loud. There are sirens all around, and the streets are mean. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. That's what they say. On my name, a monkey's found down on Broadway. I'ma make it by any means. I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big dreams all looking pretty. No place in the world that can compare. Put your lighters in the air, everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Hear it for New York.
Well, where is the time all gone to? This is Larry Maslon here at Broadway to Main Street. Let's catch up next Sunday at 3.